Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Poorboys Little Homestead. As always, if this is your first time here, feel free to stop by anytime you feel, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. Guys, this afternoon I have been working. I have been pruning all these squash again, pruning my tomatoes so air can get up under through the bottom of them. And it's hot and humid, yeah it is. What am I spraying, you ask? Well, that there's called BT. The hornworms is coming back to visit me and they eating on my tomatoes. Let me take you over here to the outside garden. I ain't got but just one little plant down here. I noticed where one's been. But what got my attention is on my outside garden, I was checking them tomatoes out. My leaves is gone and they done eaten in all of my tomatoes. But let me go over here and show you what I'm talking about. But guys, this here is what I call my outside garden. This is where I just had some extra leftover plants and threw out here, and I got my cantaloupes and my watermelon. The cantaloupes, I ain't got about 8 left out in there, but man, they've been good. But come on over here up close and I'm finna show y'all something. Alright guys, these tomatoes is outside my fence out here. I've just pretty much ain't been checking on them. It's been raining a lot the last few days. And when I come out to my garden, I just ain't been coming out here because I'm kind of done with this. But I'm going to show y'all, when you come out to your tomato plants and you start seeing tomatoes and they've been eat on and all your leaves is being eat off, if you'll start looking close up through this plant, I'm going to show y'all what's the culprit. Y'all see him yet? How many of you see him? He's on the screen right now. Right there. Now y'all see him good, don't you? That's how good they camouflage. That's a tomato hornworm. And they start out as little bitty baby things and they get big. And they camouflage in so well. You see when that limb's like that, you can't see. But that right there, guys, is a tomato hornworm. And they eat your tomatoes up. They eat all the leaves off your plants. There's one back here on this one somewhere. And they done some damage. But when you get tomato hornworms, which you keep an eye on your tomatoes, you don't let them get this bad. When you see the first naked limb like that, no leaves, you can tell been eat off, or you see the first tomato that he's nibbled on, you know you got a little tomato hornworm somewhere, and that's when you go looking. And I get the BT out. And I'll show y'all here in just a moment what BT is. Now he ain't went down to that plant yet, but I'm gonna spray that plant with that BT. And that BT, when they eat it, if they eat a leaf or take a bite of it, it gets in their system, and I don't know exactly what it does to them, but it'll kill them. But guys, this is BT, Caterpillar Killer Spray with BT. And that's what you want to mix up. There's what BT stands for. That's the active ingredient right there. But that right there, I get them, guys. You can see where I done wrote on there, I use 4 tablespoons per gallon when I see something like this. Now let's take a look at what all I've done this afternoon. First, I got a pile, and that's just where I've done trimmed the squash again. And there's another pile on the other end of the little garden about that same size. And guys, I do that about every 4 days. We just getting so much rain, and my little garden in here, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Keeps going. And if you'll keep them squash pruned, let me show you how long some of these vines are over here. But guys, this one squash vine right here, my foot's a foot long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That squash vine right there is about 7.5 foot long. And if you'll keep your leaves trimmed off your squash vines as they growing, and you don't get no squash bug in them, your squash will keep making you squash. I mean, it's finna be August right here. And I'm still going and still getting, I think a while ago when I was trimming, I got 8 or 9 squash. Well, that ain't bad for this time of the year. As much rain as we getting to be getting 8 or 9 squash every day. Some days is about 5. But I've thinned them out now. Actually, I took a couple more plants out down through there. But guys, that ain't but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That ain't but 7 plants. But that's where vines is grew off, and they start making squash, and it looks like it's more than 7 plants. But my tomatoes, here it is, been getting close to August, and I ain't got all my tomatoes off. You can see how many tomatoes is still green on my plants, on these 8 plants. But they already putting on new blooms. And I didn't think this celebrity, I'm gonna have to go back and look, but I didn't think this celebrity plant right here was an indeterminate, but it's sure making new growth, and both of them, that's a celebrity. Making new growth and putting on more blooms. Now that next one's a Cherokee, so I know it's an indeterminate, but all of them down through there, the Arkansas Travelers, they all putting on more growth and making more blooms. So I'm gonna keep these 8 tomatoes going as long as I can. Now let's go out here and I'll show y'all what all I've been trimming and doing away with. I gave the eggplants there a good trimming. They ain't got no eggplants on them right now, but I got another new bloom right there. And I noticed my eggplant that's off in the back over there, it's got 7 or 8 blooms, so they gonna produce again too. But you can see these zucchinis, I done away with one totally plant today and trimmed this one here down to give it some room. There's one more need to come off because it's broke. But you can see how terrible it looks, but what it is, that they were so balled up and it was laying over on the ground, it's got all them limbs pushed back up tight. And my zucchinis, when they'd start growing, instead of growing long, they have them all crooked and they'd be all bent up out of shape. So I'm gonna watch this in the next few days, and hopefully this vine will continue to grow and that'll get all straightened back out. I got this zucchini and I got one more down there on the other end. And that's plenty right now, guys. Y'all can see my little pepper plants. They done putting on more growth, growing out the top of the rings. Done grow some more peppers on the top. It's just amazing. I wasn't expecting them to just keep going like they are. Usually by this time of the year, as hot as it is, everything's done come to an end, and what tomatoes you got left, once you pull them off, it's done. But I've been able to keep this here stuff going. It's been a job though, I tell you. You don't just don't keep your eye on it. It's a daily job. But y'all can see these tomato plants I had in these containers down through here. They still had some green tomatoes on them, but guys, we've been getting so much rain and so much water, they so cracked open and stuff. I just went on and took them out because I got more tomatoes over on them 8 plants, and I got my one big honeydew delight up there at the house, and it'll keep making up there. So I'm cleaning up, took all them out. Now my Swiss chard right there and my prism kale. Only reason that's still out here because that's what I feed my rabbits. I cut them some of that off every morning, every evening, and it's still growing, but you don't want to eat it hot as it is with this temperature. That stuff don't taste good when it's this hot, but the rabbits still like it. But we're finna get over here and we're gonna check on this cucumber and see if it's grown any longer. Now guys, I've been pruning on this cucumber right here that I had in this tub on top of this barrel. But I went on today and took one of them totally out and just left this one. But look at it. It's got little blooms on it making little cucumbers. Now the thing about them, when they this hot, you got to get them cucumbers when they're real little. If you don't, they get bitter. We done figured that out. But hey, 2 or 3 little cucumbers to eat with your supper at night's pretty good. Now this cucumber right here, I got to pull this in this season. This is a summer dance cucumber. Now normally you would let this one go and get about 1 foot long, about that big around. But like I said, when it's hot, you got to pick them small. But still, you guys, that's a 6-inch cucumber. Almost about 3/4 inch round. But you can see I trimmed it. I had them other cucumbers. I done away with them. I may have done away with them on the last garden update. I can't rightly remember. But let's ease on over here and see about this big cucumber. Now guys, this cucumber back here, like I was telling y'all, it's growing on this fence and it don't get much sun at all. And that's why I think it's so pretty and green and doing so good. But it's steady blooming and steady making small cucumbers, and there for a while I was pulling them off, trying to see how long I could grow this cucumber. Well, this cucumber's done slowed down in growing in length, and it got a little bigger around, but it's getting so yellow, I know that it ain't gonna reach the ground. So I give up on that, but I am gonna leave it and see how long it'll go. But I am letting other cucumbers grow. I got one hanging right yonder about 6 inches long. I can get today. But about every day, every other day, I get 1 or 2 little cucumbers off of here. Now guys, I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but y'all see me measure this, and I ain't measured it since last time we measured it. I can't rightly remember what the last measurement was, but I was thinking it's longer than what I'm measuring now, so I ain't sure this cucumber, after it's done quit growing and turning yellow, it got bigger round. If it ain't like drawing up, maybe it's getting dry and drawing up, but that right there is measuring 18 3/4 inches. Y'all have to help me out in the comments, or I have to go back and look at the video, but I was thinking it was longer than that last time. Or was it 18 1/2 last time? I can't remember. Y'all gonna have to help me out, or I'll go back and look at the video. But anyway, it's measuring 18 3/4, but you can tell it ain't gonna continue to grow because it's done giving up. But we're gonna let her hang there till she's done, till she falls off on her own. All I can say is I ain't never grew a cucumber like that, and I ain't never seen one grow that big anywhere around me. But the only way you would want to do that is just doing it for the fun of it. I'm gonna show y'all my ground cherries over here, how good they do. Now guys, I've never planted ground cherries before in my life, and I ain't never seen nobody grow them around this parts. But they got several ground cherries on them. And ground cherries, guys, if you don't know, they're gonna have a little wrapper like on them. And you don't pick them like you do cherry tomatoes. You actually wait till they fall off. And as soon as they fall off, you get them, and then you open that, I'm calling it a wrapper because it's real papery looking. And you open it up, and then it's like a little cherry tomato in there. But they call ground cherries. But they really doing good, 'cause I bet you there's about 30 of them on there already. And I'm just letting them go wild on the ground. I ain't trying to tie them up on the fence or nothing. I'm just letting them do their thing. They making ground cherries. From what I read and stuff, people say they real good, kind of like snacks. I like me some snacks. If I could ever figure out how to grow me some vanilla ice cream, I'd be in business, wouldn't I? Here's y'all another little sneak peek at my musky dimes hanging there. Like I said on the last little update, I wouldn't expect any even to get no musky dimes this year, 'cause I just planted these, I think, in February. But all 4 of these has got musky dimes on it. Just looking, I'd say between them 4 bushes, I might have a half a gallon, but hey, half a gallon's half a gallon. 'Cause you know what? I got some in the freezer froze from last year. And with them and this, it may be enough for me to make me a little jelly. But guys, this here was my atomic grape and what was they called? Blue cream cherry tomatoes. Y'all gotta help me out. I can't, my tags is done, the marker done rubbed off my tags, so I can't remember the actual names of these. But I think one's called a blue cream and one's called a atomic grape. But see, y'all remember I planted these way late. I planted these late. Gonna see how they do in the summertime. Just experimenting, guys, just experimenting. Now there's Freedom Mark blackberries here. I've been eating them as they turn black, and I about ain't none left here now. There's one. And that's a small one. The ones I've been getting is bigger than that, but I ain't getting money off of it. I don't know if it's caused the year we had and all this rain and stuff, but anyway, guys, after you harvest these here, I ain't never raised these prime old canes, but I'm gonna go back and do my research again. If I understand right, after you do your little harvest this time, you just trim them back about halfway, and then they're supposed to make a second round in the fall. And then after them's over, you can cut these all the way to the ground, and then next year they make new canes. That's why I went with them, because I like where you can clean it, cut it down, clean your mess up, and start over next year instead of just keep getting bush bigger and bigger. But guys, I just want to give y'all a quick little update on my garden again. I'm very excited. My okra's doing good. Been getting a good mess of okra every day, enough for me and my wife. Almost every day is enough for me and my wife. Some days is enough for 4 people a mess. But I usually just, we don't eat okra every night, but I cut it up and put it in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and when it gets that bag full, I separate it out into smaller bags and freeze them. Or they already froze. Y'all know what I mean. Put them in smaller bags. But guys, I just want to give y'all an update on my little garden. Big long cucumber over there. Show y'all what eats your tomatoes and tomato plants up. And guys, if you don't spray that on your tomatoes or pick them things off, they'll eat your plant totally down and eat your tomatoes totally away. You can't be say I'm gonna be organic or I ain't gonna spray nothing. Well, that BT's supposed to be organic, they say. I didn't mean you can't be organic, but what I mean is you can't just let your tomatoes go when you get hornworms, because they'll eat the plant totally away and eat your tomatoes totally away. And there's too much work put into this. Even if that BT ain't organic, I don't care. At this end stage right here, I done put too much into this, and I don't want no worms eating my tomatoes. I want Eddie to be eating them tomatoes. But guys, I hope you like this little update. I know there's some of my viewers out there, they like keeping an update on my garden, see how it's doing. If you like these little videos, give me a thumbs up. It really helps me on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, by all means, please take a moment and go down there and hit that button and subscribe. Guys, that means a lot on YouTube channels. But thanks for watching. God bless. Y'all have a great day. See y'all next time.